Hello Virgo, and welcome to your bonus updated January reading. We'll be checking in today into how your month is going so far, and we're going to find out if you need to shift gears, change directions, maybe you just need a little guidance, or possibly this will just be confirmation that you're currently on a good path for your best growth. All right, let's get into this. Let's see what we can find out. All right, Spirit. Let's look at what Virgo is working on right now and into the last 2 weeks of January. What is Virgo working on right now and into the next 2 weeks of January? We have 5th chakra, Archangel Gabriel. Man holding a coin. All right. All right. 5th chakra, which is the throat chakra, and Archangel Gabriel. So Archangel Gabriel is the messenger of God, and he does have a lot to do with communication. The 5th chakra has to do with communication and higher purpose. And a man holding a coin. I feel like they're not necessarily a man, but somebody with masculine energy, right? More assertive, expressive, outwardly type of person. Aggressive, assertive, you know. With this man holding a coin, for some reason I feel like there's a masculine energy holding something over you that has to do with your finances. And I think that there is a communication problem between the two of you. Maybe this has to do with you want a raise and this person's not going to give you that raise. And I'm not saying there's a blame for the communication for one particular person, but there is a communication errors. There are miscommunications happening between you and this other person, possibly other people. There could be more than one person involved here. So I invite you to start working with your throat chakra and learning about communication, how you communicate versus how other people communicate, how you can make yourself better understood and be a better listener for other people. Let's get into some more detail. I'm not sure where this is going, because it feels like, from your perspective, somebody's being really mean and being unreasonable. But I don't think it's entirely the other person's issue. Okay? Let's get some more info. What's up for Virgo in the last 2 weeks of January? 2 weeks of January for Virgo. First we have your voice. Is there something that you need to say? An inability to speak out can leave us with feelings of hurt and resentment, which then create a kind of internal energetic roadblock. Yeah, this is what I was thinking. Voice your feelings to yourself or write them down. It's time to release the past. that is an excellent way for learning communication. If you've got something to say, write it down. And then when you're writing, you can just write whatever you want. No one ever has to read it. And then you can look over it again and try to come up with more constructive ways of saying what you want to say. Next is take your time. So while you're doing this, take your time. You want to get this right. This card says slow down. If you are feeling under pressure, whether in response to a situation or the demands of another person or from pressure that you are placing on yourself, this card asks you to slow down and take time to evaluate before reaching a conclusion, making a decision, or committing yourself. Exactly. There's something that needs to be taken care of, something that needs to be communicated. And then lastly, forgiveness of ourselves. Okay, this card says, when something goes wrong, even if the circumstances were out of our control or we did the very best that we could possibly do, we can still carry guilt after the event. The gift of guilt is to help us to learn and to develop a conscience, not to carry as a ball and chain for the rest of our lives. Listen to the learning and forgive yourself for not being perfect. Release any guilt today. So that makes me think I've hit a nerve, or that what I've been talking about is at least in the right ballpark, because I did feel like there's something you are not able to communicate effectively the way you want to. This is telling me that you're blaming yourself as well as being angry at this person for not listening or not paying attention to you, or you feel like they're holding something over you. But I think within these 2 weeks, you're really going to be having to look at that, look at yourself, look at the situation, and come to terms with yourself, your choices you made, and the things that were said and done. And you'll get a chance to look at it again and maybe make a different choice on how you want to approach this. But let's get some more information. I'm gonna pull some tarot out now. All right, Spirit, tell me more about Virgo in the last 2 weeks of January. Anything they need to know. Anything they can do. How can they make this right? Last 2 weeks of January for Virgo. We have the Lovers. We have the Wheel of Fortune. We have the Five of Swords. And we have the Conqueror of Coins, which in traditional tarot, this is the Knight of Pentacles. So, with this communication, with the Lovers card here, you think relationship-wise, but I feel like this is more, it doesn't feel like a romance. Whoever this other person is that you're having a conflict with. So, I'm thinking with taking your time, writing down what's really happening, forgiving of yourself, being able to come at this situation and maybe talk to this person a little different way, you will come into feeling better about yourself. So the Lovers card can be about loving yourself, not just loving someone else. And Wheel of Fortune, so your fortune is going to change. You've been in this Five of Swords type of energy, which for me, Five of Swords is kind of like, well, I'm holding all the swords. I've got all the ideas. And if you don't like it, tough. So sometimes that's very necessary, but sometimes treating people like they aren't your equal, sometimes that can be very off-putting. And that may not be what you're trying to communicate, but that might be what is being communicated, that you're kind of a little bit better than others and you don't need to listen to other people, but other people have good information too. Don't be dismissive. Don't diminish. Because you can make slow and, as long as you are doing this, you will make slow and steady progress. Your fortunes will change and you can start communicating better, which means you'll start feeling better. You'll start feeling heard. You'll have that fulfillment. You'll have that contentment, and learning how to listen to other people as well, even if you think that they just don't know what they're talking about. Sometimes just having someone listen, they will be able to work through their stuff, Same thing for you. If you find someone that will listen, and you, like I said, sometimes you don't communicate as well as you want to, but if there's someone in your life, maybe this man, who you could say stuff to, maybe practice how you're going to say stuff, I think that'd be really beneficial for you. And this person could be that for you. Okay. Also, start looking, if you don't know anything about Archangel Gabriel, start looking up things. Start asking for help and that sort of thing, especially with the communication. Getting in touch with communication with yourself, communication with others, okay? I do have one more card I want to pull. Any last little bit of advice, Spirit, for Virgo for the last 2 weeks of January? For Virgo, the last 2 weeks of January, Spirit. Nope, this one. This one right here. Okay. And the Guardian. Born innocent. Okay. Your communications, I would say, are innocent. Things are not coming across the way you intend or hope for, but I think you do have a pure intention. So, me talking about this card, about maybe thinking you're better than other people or smarter or something that gives you an edge, that is something that is perceived. That's part of the miscommunication. But it's also something that you've learned in response to actually this attitude is something that you've learned as a response, because I think this communication error has been happening for a long time. And so you're just used to people treating you a certain way. And so this is a defense mechanism. That's what it is. Your defense mechanism. That is what's being communicated. And that is what I think you should kind of look at, take your time. And if you have hurt people because of it, learn to forgive yourself, okay? But always have your voice. And maybe that's part of too, you've had problems with communication, so you stop talking. And then sometimes you talk and it just doesn't come out right. But Spirit acknowledges this, and things are starting, you're starting to see things. Things are going to start coming around. With this Wheel of Fortune, things are going to start coming around, and things are going to start becoming easier, and it's going to be better. I think you're going to have better relationships too, because the communication will be better, and maybe you won't have your defenses up. You won't have your guard up so much. You'll be able to relax a little, and people can really see you for you, okay? All right. I hope that helps you out. I think that's everything I see. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and let me know what you think, okay? Other than that, be the light that you wish to see in this world. Namaste.